Two Jack Bros. Two Jack Bros.
John, do you walk around barefoot much?
Not outside.
No, nature boy Jon Delcollo.
Dude, I live in a pile of heroin needles. I can't, I don't even drive with flip-flops on.
Yeah, when was the last time you were free-footing it outdoors?
I did a few rocky steps in Joshua Tree a couple of weeks ago.
See, that's why I was asking
desert.
you, because you do all these camping trips, you do all these hikes. You knew that about John, right?
No, you're like the organizer of like the trips when you guys all go to the woods and stuff.
No, he doesn't dare try to organize shit with us. He just goes and does stuff.
Okay.
I do a lot of solo missions.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wouldn't pull his hair out over that.
No.
Wouldn't
okay.
be worth it.
Okay.
I think I might have booked that campsite that year.
Oh, the year we all went to, all the comedians went into the woods, the mountains, and did mushrooms.
I might have made the phone call for that, but that's...
He
I
got
do a
the-
lot
he
of
got the
organizing now.
mushrooms. He
Yeah.
probably got the mushrooms.
Actually, no, I did do a lot of organizing. I did like a couple trips this year with some friends, and I'm the guy, getting the reservations for the campsites and the flights. I'm booking
Yeah.
flights.
You booked flights for people?
I'm texting people asking for their birthday.
Oh, wow.
That
Send
me a picture of her license.
Yeah.
I got pictures of licenses if you guys want them.
Wow.
You got mama's maiden names and shit.
Oh, dude, yeah. Berkshire.
Man, that's pretty wild. I mean, is it because you're the one that wants to go the most?
I think so. I think it probably wouldn't happen if it was up to somebody else.
Yeah, I think that's always fair.
Yeah.
Right, if
But
you
I
wanna
also
go the
don't.
most.
I don't have anything going on.
Yeah.
Like these guys all have jobs. You know what I mean? I spend 8 months out of the year planning a 2-week trip.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So
I'm on Google Maps constantly trying to figure out where's cool to go, and then I'm like hooking these guys in, like, hey, you guys, $97 to go to Las Vegas, and then we can drive to Zion National Park from there. And they're like,
Nice.
all right, we'll
Nice.
go for 3 nights, or I think it was just 3 nights, and we ended up going to like the craziest place in the country.
So John, he goes camping, he goes to the mountains and hiking and climbs mountains and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say climbs mountains per se.
Hike up mountains, but I think it's I'm out there climbing mountains.
You go
Don't
off the
take that away
paths,
from me.
though? Do you like...
The first mountain I ever climbed was definitely off trail. Yeah, there was no trail to the top.
Nice.
That was fucking hardest thing I've ever done, even in good shape.
Yeah.
Like, I just climbed a mountain in Joshua Tree, hiked up a mountain, and that was the hardest thing I've ever done. But I'm out of shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, I would have easily done that. But at this time, I'm like, I have walking sticks. I got 3 liters of water.
Oh,
I'm
you
just
got
sucking-
gear, huh?
Oh, he's
Oh
geared
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
John is geared up.
Yeah.
I love gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love gear.
Yeah. I'm glad you asked. I didn't even know that was a question to ask. Like, do you go off trail? I was like, what kind of question? Oh, he's got an answer. Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I try not to though, because you're not really supposed to.
Right, right.
Good hiker's supposed to stay on trail.
Yeah.
It's there for a reason. But sometimes there's no trail to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get to the
Yeah.
top.
If John didn't go on his 3 or 4 trips a year, he would be a poser. He'd only be doing it for the gear. That's how much gear he has.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
can't risk that.
Yeah.
I have so much shit. It's like I just look at it and I'm like, all right, I gotta go use it.
Yeah.
Or people are gonna start calling me a poser.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta go. He would be the Malibu's most wanted of gear.
Man, he don't even hike. I said I can't afford it.
What would you do if you were hiking and you came across Brian Laundrie?
Oh man, I don't know, dude. I'm starting to think that guy's really got his shit together if he hasn't gotten caught yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
So,
good. Like
you know,
he is, yeah,
He's
really getting away with
strangled
it.
a lady to death. I'd be freaked out.
You think it would be hard to camp under those conditions? Because he's
On the
camping.
Appalachian Trail?
Yeah.
For other people?
Yeah.
Or for him?
Or for you. I mean, could you camp with that burden looking over your shoulder? Which
I
again,
would
I
be
refuse
freaked
to
out.
do.
But it seems to be very easy for him to be camping. No one has fucking found him yet.
He's probably one of the top campers.
Yeah, as far as living on the trail, dude.
Yeah.
That guy's fucking living on the trail.
There are so many people jealous that Brian Laundrie is going to be the paradigm for prolific camper.
He's accidentally through hiking
Yeah.
the AT.
Yeah.
Zero preparation.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, so John's a mountain forest guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Little mountain forest guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I go to the desert sometimes too. That's fine.
Oh fuck! We went to the Arizona, right?
Last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was part of the Utah trip.
Do you spend the night out like in the desert under the stars?
Oh
like,
yeah, I
the
did my
sky is
first
crazy?
solo camping trip.
Oh, really?
Last week in Joshua Tree.
Oh.
And for like the first hour of like setting up camp and like being by myself around a fire, I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. I don't have anybody to talk to. And then it's like you're 3 beers in and you're under the Milky Way galaxy. And I was like, all right, I don't really want to be talking to anybody anyway. And your neighbors are so close.
Yeah.
You're not scared.
Yeah.
There's no bears.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that would get ruined real quick by a conversation.
Yeah.
Like the first time you're under the stars, laying down, seeing the fucking galaxy in the desert, just like, yeah, trial separation right now. Tomorrow we'll see if this shit still works. That's pretty sick. So, John, do you have an idea what we do with this podcast? Are you familiar with what we bring people on? And we're basically trying to extract everything we can out of them to reach enlightenment. You understand that?
Oh my God. No.
Yeah.
I understand it now though.
Yeah. So what we do. Everybody gets the same questions,
Okay.
right? And we're basically going up the chakra chain, starting from the bottom and working our way up to the top.
With questions?
Absolutely.
And gear.
So I shouldn't have my chakras crossed then, right?
One crossing.
Oh, sorry.
Your chakras start with your butt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's crossed or not.
Not my
but
legs?
No.
Yeah. This is like chakra gear. Our set is chakra gear.
Energy.
Yeah. We're getting gear. We're getting geared up for this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that sage?
Yeah.
Okay. I've only seen that at fucking Bonnaroo.
Yeah. Well, act like you don't go all the time.
I've only seen that once a year for the past 12 years.
Yeah. So here we're gonna get it. We're gonna get deep into your sage today.
All right.
All right. So the first question we always start off with is what situation or experience has given you the most information?
One singular experience.
Could be a series of experiences or just something like when I say most information, gave you the most information. What are you instantly drawn to?
Camping and hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I accidentally got into that, and it's like the one thing that I can't get enough of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I continually want to gain knowledge in that. Is that?
No, that's a perfect answer. How did you accidentally get into that? Because you're really into that from my perspective. It's
Yeah,
like, how did you accidentally
change
get
my
into that?
fucking life, right?
Did you get into that while I knew you, or were you into that before I met you?
Before.
Okay.
I met you in like 2010 or 11, and I think I started camping in 2008 was the first time, accidentally. I went to LA and visited my friend, and I was there for like 3 days maybe, and he was like, we're going camping tomorrow night. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, I'm here to drink. I'm 21 years old, but I guess we'll go. I wanted to go out in Los Angeles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the next morning, we did go out that night. I got handcuffed by the LAPD within about 12 hours of
Let's
being
just
there.
gloss right over that story. This accidental camping trip is layered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, were you accidentally handcuffed as well? Was that very on purpose?
Well, it certainly was not purposeful. And I was led astray. Somebody found a voice recorder. This is how longer this is. A voice recorder. And he was like, I was like, oh, shit. You know? And I was like a guy that wanted to
Do
be
voices?
a writer or something. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, I want that. I wish, give me that. And he wouldn't give me that. And then at the end of the night, we're all outside.
Was that typically the response when you said, give me that? Did you typically get that? Or were people typically not giving you that?
Mostly not.
Okay.
But we're outside and the dude's like using it, playing it, or listening to whatever was on it. And this dude comes up and is like, that's mine. And he grips it out of his hand. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I thought it was my friend Chris's.
Yeah.
So I chase this guy into the street and I grab his like satchel and we're like spinning and tussling in the middle of Sunset Boulevard. And then LAPD pulls up, doors open, guns at both of our heads.
Oh, wow.
And I do that like thing where you go from standing to Indian style. You just like twist your body down. And I was immediately. So they treated me pretty nice. This guy, on the other hand, they were not so nice to. Mexican guy. And we got home with the voice recorder and started playing it. The guy had kept saying, they're stealing my voice. They're stealing my voice. And then we go home and play, and he's like a musician, and it's all of his songs.
Oh no!
And he went to jail. So yeah, that's why I go camping all the time.
Oh my god.
Dude, I was in handcuffs till like the sun came up.
Yeah, you stole a
Sunset.
Mexican mermaid's voice. That's fucking wild. It sounds like you were on the bad guy side of a Disney movie.
Yeah.
You know,
For
like
sure.
that Mexican eventually got his voice back.
I fucking hope he did, man.
He hated singing for so long.
What, did you keep the voice recorder? Or did
My
your
friend did.
He kept it?
Yeah. He's
He's
probably
cursed.
got bad karma.
Yeah, that's a curse.
For
Yeah.
sure.
That's for sure a curse. Is your friend doing well? Is he all right in life?
He went bald.
Fuck. Mexicans never go bald.
I've never seen one.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So what adaptable information do you feel like you've learned from camping, or what have you learned about yourself through camping?
Man, you guys really fucking good. What have I learned about myself? That I can be outside as long as there's 24 cold beers and plenty of weed
How
in any weather.
how drunk can you survive?
Less and less each year. I don't fall into the fire anymore.
Yeah, when you like,
That's what I
Yeah.
learned about myself, that I can fall into a fire
so
and
let's
make
just
it out.
gloss over that one.
Wait, that first camping trip you went on, was it was life changing?
Yeah.
Was like,
So like the next day I get like 3 hours of sleep. We're on the road at 9 o'clock. I was in handcuffs till the sun came up.
yeah.
And I just slept and pretty much woke up like in the giant sequoia
Oh,
forest.
yeah.
So we put our tent right next to a giant sequoia. I'd never,
Yeah.
it was like seeing fucking, like being in Jurassic Park to
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? And you can barely, like, you see a couple of big rock faces and like mountain peaks, but it's barely even a glimpse into the Sierra Nevada. But I went back to that campsite specifically for like, had never camped before that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have a sleeping bag. We went to Walmart and I was like, it's California.
Yeah.
Well, it's warm here, I hear, you know, the Golden Coast. I bought a bag of Tostitos and a loaf of white bread to go camping. I had no idea about anything.
Are those your typical? Do you stick with those staples now?
I haven't bought either of those items since. And yeah, so it got dark. I took a little bit of acid. Didn't even have any beer, which is like, how the fuck did I fuck that up?
Yeah.
I didn't even buy beer. And then when it was bedtime, everybody went into the tent. I didn't have a sleeping bag. I was like, oh my God, it's like 45 degrees now.
Yeah.
5,000 feet elevation. So I stuffed my own clothes with the rest of my clothes and just shivered until the sun came up because I was scared of a bear getting me. And then I went to the back of a Jeep
Yeah.
and slept like crunched up
Yeah.
for about 2 hours. And then they were like, we're going hiking. I was like, oh no. And it sounds terrible, right?
Yeah.
But I've gone back every single year.
Huh. To prove to yourself that you can do it with more expertise?
Maybe
Or-
I do gain a little bit. Like I get a little bit better every year. You know, the first time I went to Yosemite, like I got there and they were like, we're out of campsites. And I was like, what the fuck? You can be out of them? You know?
The land is full.
And that was like my 6th year going to those mountains.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah. I just imagine it's just like for a mile, just like sleeping bag next to sleeping bag next to sleeping bag. You're like, fuck, it's full. They were, all right.
this is the last one.
We got one lot left. And it's just like one space for a sleeping bag.
It was like the motorcycle of sleeping bags. It takes up less space.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Do you consider yourself an expert now?
No, hardly.
Yeah.
No. Because, I mean, now, like, it's my Instagram is just, like, full of that shit. So I see all these guys who actually, like, our North Face mountaineers and stuff, and it's like, I'll never do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to get into like climbing, but I'd have to get in better shape. That's probably the next level of like upping my outdoorsmanship.
I mean, that typically is what happens. Somebody finds a lifestyle reason to change their fitness, you know? And you're like right on the precipice of that. Like I hiked with this guy. It's like, he's hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
Does he look like he's hard to keep up with?
Yeah. It is strange that
it's a fucking optical illusion.
Dude, and like I'm smoking cigarettes all night, and the next day I'm like, all right, let's go hike for 12 miles.
Yeah, he's got hiking muscles. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, John. So that's. Thank you for that.
Was it even close to?
Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay.
I'm like, you know, because like I guess that's almost the same question as like, what is your narrative? Like, how do you see yourself?
Yeah.
You know, and I think the thing that you gain the most information from tends to be the thing that you build from everywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, like this is like camping, that is like camping.
Well, and it's like my knowledge of geography of the United States is like, I look at Google Maps all day.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know where the states are, brother.
Name them all.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Look, I'm like miming. I'm quick. You just got to see it with my hands. I'm gonna mime the United States, right? And then what's that state?
That's either North Dakota or the one to the right of it, where Fargo is. Fargo.
D got it. It was exactly Fargo.
Yeah, I know maps.
All right, so we're going to get into these chakras now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how did you learn to overcome fear?
How did I learn to overcome it? I don't know. I'm not sure that I have overcome fear.
You think you're a bitch?
This whole thing's a setup. Is that a setup question?
John, I've known you for a while. You ain't no bitch.
I don't know. I mean, putting myself in situations. I mean, I feel like doing comedy is a big way to get over fear of most kind of social anxieties. You know.
When I say overcome fear, you immediately think social anxieties?
No, but like maybe.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I definitely was I don't know if it was just my age, but like when I started comedy, I was definitely getting drunker to talk to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is not the case anymore. You know, I still like a few, but
How old were you when you started comedy?
24, 25.
Ah.
So like definitely like getting drunk to get up the nerve to get on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like the nerve to talk to this guy who I think is really funny and is
Yeah.
obviously a more veteran comedian. You know what I mean? And then it's like you get to a point where it's like, oh, I'll talk to anybody if I want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
I'm stoned.
And then you'll
is
talk
always-
to nobody. Even if I don't want to. I'll talk to nobody if I don't want to. I don't want to be in this corner. Yeah.
Do you get scared when you go camping, like at all, or there's no like?
Nah. I've never camped by myself in like mountains where there's bears.
Yeah.
I've camped in a tent alone, but I'm a firm believer that as long as there's nothing with a scent
Yeah.
in your tent, then you're all good. Like I've camped with the doors open, you know what I mean, screen open. Mm-hmm. Essentially cowboy camping. There's just a mosquito net over you, basically.
Okay.
And I didn't really get scared. The first few times, definitely scared of bears.
Yeah.
But it's like the first few times I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to be eating Kit Kats all night. So I had a reason to be scared.
Just like terrified after like were you scared while eating the Kit Kats? Like, this isn't a good idea.
He sounds like he's getting closer.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you don't have to. You're not a fearful guy.
No, I honestly don't know what I would be afraid of. Scary movies. I don't like scary movies.
Yeah, we're not trying to get you scared.
Okay.
we're just trying to learn like what what it is that helps you get over fear. Like there's a lot of people that are kind of crippled in one way or another by fear. Learning how these different people kind of get out of it. It seems like this is the most common answer with the fear thing, which is like throwing yourself into situations that make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So just do it.
Yeah, I mean, comedy was an uncomfortable situation for a long time,
Yeah.
Same with camping. Mm-hmm. I like, the first few times I went out to go camping, it was like groups of like 10 or 15 people would go. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was like more of a party in the woods that I was probably partially organizing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even back then. And then eventually it's like, I don't think we need 12 people in this campsite, I think I can just be with a couple people in the woods and not be scared.
How did you make your cuts?
They just kind of happened naturally.
Uh-oh. There's something in that.
Yeah.
There's something in that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I was pretty dedicated. I went out there every single year.
So that's like the least dedicated first. You're out of here.
Yeah. There's some people that did 2 in a row, which I didn't expect,
Yeah.
Because one year I lived out there, and still people came out, and they were like, oh, yeah, let's do it. And the next year was like just me and another guy on a one-nighter.
That sounds terrifying. You knew that guy well?
No, we met there.
Yeah.
We met in my tent. He was already in there when I set it up.
What you were saying about the fear thing, though, I think it's throwing yourself in there, but it's also finding something that you're passionate about or drawn to enough that makes you want to go back over and over again. Right?
Yeah.
That is also another common theme in that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not out there like, I love going down dark alleyways at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to do it all the time.
Not everybody's Sydney Gant. I get it. I get it. All right. So John, this next section is, by the way, that was good. That was a good opening of the root chakra is what that is.
Okay.
The fear chakra. It's the survival chakra. And it's located in the anus.
Okay.
Well, maybe his is so open because it's like survival, and that's like what you do all the time.
Yeah,
you
he's
go out in the
balanced.
woods.
He's balanced there.
Yeah, I believe so.
He came in like that chair sitting in him.
Yeah.
It's a wide open butthole.
Yeah, it took some poppers before I got here.
Well, hold on a second. Ansley, what are poppers?
I have no idea. Something you put in your butthole.
Is that the case?
I think it's a pill you take, and it helps your butthole open for sex of the anus.
Did you know technology and medicine were there?
I
You
had
could
no-
take a
I had
pill and
no
it opens
idea.
your butthole?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, we're there. We're like Star Trek.
Yeah.
And we've been there for decades, I think.
Yeah. So this next section, John, we like to give a person an opportunity to give an apology to any person, place, or thing. Those are nouns, by the way. Any noun that may need an apology from you just to help you balance your energy, get that negativity out of you, and get back to neutral.
Oh, yeah. I got the guys. Jim and Alan of Mountain Home State Forest.
Wow.
We were bad campers when we started. I was a very bad camper. I'm talking like leaving trash out. Bears would just dig through it when we were out hiking, carving into tables. I wasn't carving, but people I was with. Bad campers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to those guys.
Like, so what did you do to those guys specifically?
Well,
Is there a statute of limitations on it? Do you want to protect some anonymity here?
No. It's just like leaving the trash out
Okay.
and those guys carving into the tables.
Huh.
They told me like the next year about that.
They remember
When you came back, they were like, hey.
Well, they didn't like say it specifically, but like I was just talking, like they would come make their rounds every day, and I was like, hey, what's up, guys? I wanted them to remember me every year. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I'm coming out from Delaware. Like, I fucking love this place,
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, fucking people vandalize this place sometimes, like carving in the tables. And I just grew up going to parks where it's like you go carve your name into the table. That just didn't seem bad to me. And then when they said that, I was like, oh my God, I fucking basically carved my license into there.
Yeah.
Everybody had their fucking mother's maiden name on the table.
So you don't want to know who my boo is? Yeah, that's a good specific apology. You feel good for that?
Yeah, I definitely feel. I'm glad I know what it means to be like a good
Yeah.
camper. You know what I mean? I'm not out there like yelling at people. If I see people doing like real fucked up shit, like spray painting trees or something in the wilderness, dude. One year that place was closed because people spray painted giant sequoia trees.
And they had to close it.
Dude,
to
the
clean?
day I was going into that park, into
Yeah.
that state park or whatever, I was in Fresno. We had just left Yosemite, stayed in Fresno, and I get an email that says this campsite's closed, the campsite that I wanted to go to. And I call the guy, and I'm like, "Yo, what's going on? What's going on, Jim? You remember me, John from from Delaware?" And I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "I thought you had information about this." And I was like, "No, I'm like, I just drove."
Yeah, I thought it was you. Is this a setup? Yeah, but go. I'm sorry.
And he was like, I was like, "What happened?" He was like, "Deep breath. Bunch of gangbangers from Bakersfield spray painted everything." Like everything. It took them like weeks. They found the guy and like made him help clean everything up.
Yeah.
But I couldn't go to that campsite that year.
They just tagged it.
Yeah.
Tags.
Yeah. And I was like a dude that, people are serious about graffiti some places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when there's like gangs involved.
Yeah.
So it was very easy to like
Man.
database of tag names,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they found this guy and
They dragged him out there. I
think so, yeah.
You think they changed his life? You think like him
I
scrubbing
wonder.
a tree, like
dude, no, because if you're in that place and your first thought, if you even think about fucking spray painting it in the first place, you're probably at lost cause.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
you think he on any of those sequoias he spray painted like doorways, or like
Beautiful Hobbit hums.
or like tunnels for like coyotes to run into. He's trying to help the fucking roadrunners, dude. Come on.
I didn't get any specifics, but that is possible.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
yeah.
I would do
yeah.
that. I mean, I don't spray paint a tree, but if you're gonna, be funny.
Do it funny.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was good. That was a good apology. I feel better after that apology.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be crazy if I just like went camping 3 times, just fucked shit up and never did it again. You know what I mean? Never even thought that I did anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're moving up. We're out with these bam, bam, bam. This is going swimmingly. So the next one when were you the most disappointed in yourself, and what did you get out of that? What did you get out of getting over that disappointment?
Say something that comes back to me every once in a while is one time I was in a little league. I don't know if it was like a camp or something. I think it was like a week-long camp, and the last day culminated in like all these little mini competitions. You know what I mean? Like who can run fastest bases, a bunting competition. You know what I mean? Who can lay down the best bunt? Like, so you're more likely to get to first base safe.
That's kind of to the naked ear. That sounds like one of those things you do with a big brother, where you're like, "This dude can hit the softest,"
Yeah.
and they're like, "You go first."
Well, bunting was my best chance of winning anything. I laid down some good bunts in my day.
All right, nice.
But,
you're good at letting the ball hit your stick.
Yep. Let it come to me. That's chakras, I think.
Yeah.
But the dude who went before me laid down a really fucking nice bunt, dude.
Put the pressure on you.
Yo, dude, this bunt was unbeatable. So instead of honestly giving it a try, I switch bunted. I switch hit.
You went righty because you're a natural left-handed human.
So, and my dad was like, my coach, and he was like, "You fucking motherfucker, you're gonna fucking throw it away? You're gonna throw the bunting competition away?"
So before I get into the psyche there, what was so beautiful about this bunt that you just witnessed?
So like it was marked off on the baseline of like here's a decent bunt. Here's too close. If it gets this far, it got too close to the third baseman. Going to be an easy out. You know what I mean? So it was like maybe this was 1 point, 1 point, 2 point, 2 point, and then 3 points in the middle for the sweet spot.
Yeah.
And he was right in the middle, like shuffleboard, you know?
So he was in that area where kids are just throwing their hands up because they don't know what to do. It's like, I don't know.
It's in the area where usually a little leaguer will slip on the ball and blooper reel it.
the blooper error. So, all right. So you just watched this perfectly placed bunt, and then you make this decision to switch bunt. Why'd you do that?
So not winning wasn't a big deal. It's not like I really lost.
Yeah.
I switch hit. It was like I took away the opportunity for me to feel like I really lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
I've never spoken this.
Yeah, I mean we get that a lot on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
You get a lot of people crying.
It's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty important lesson. Like, how did you? I mean, I'm kind of seeing that in you, in your behavior, because I feel like I've seen you in situations speak up or throw yourself into a situation where I was shocked that you did, but it was done in a way where it's like, I don't want to be the person not doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like behind somebody fucking playing lottery in a long line at 7-Eleven shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Please, come on. Everybody wants to be the guy that speaks up. You've seen me have that situation?
Yeah, no, I've seen you speak up before, because I've seen you speak up when a guy was being a jerk somewhere or like around people where he could be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a situation where people were like, didn't want to get involved with this guy because he was looking to be volatile.
Yeah.
You know, and you went up there and you commanded him to cease, and it worked. You know, and it's I thought that was really impressive.
Yeah. Do you think it stems from that?
I don't know. I mean, all those other guys that were out there are definitely people that want to believe that they're the type of person to do something, right? And there was even another situation where a guy was like being a jerk towards, like a couple years ago, being a jerk towards a female, and you stepped in, and it was, but those other guys, like, they're still switch button. Do you know what I mean?
A switch button? What do you mean?
They're still, they're getting up to that situation. They're seeing it. And instead of like going out there and going for the bunt, they're like,
They're negotiating with themselves. We talk about this all the time. Like how easy it is, like when you have goals in life, to negotiate yourself out of what needs to be done to reach those goals. You'll be like, oh, I don't need to wake up and, do this or do that. And and so like in situations like that, when the pressure's on, people will be like, well, I couldn't speak up because it's not my business, or like, like you can come up with like a million reasons of why you don't need to
and
be.
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's with like not waking up and like
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
shit
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, my motorcycle has to be registered by 2 weeks, and I'm like, fucking started it today. The light doesn't even turn on. I'm like, oh boy, we got a lot of work to do. Motorcycle day is in my calendar a month ago.
yeah.
But when it really counts, it sounds like you're there.
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of put myself in a position in life where I don't have many deadlines. You know. So it's not often that case, but yeah. Maybe that's why I'm like that, because so rarely do I have to fucking step up to the plate. When I do, I'm like, oh, fucking A, I've been swinging this fucking bat in the on deck circle.
Gotta land this bunt. Man, the unbeatable bunt. I'll never stop thinking about that. like where I pictured it go in my head, it was like this beautiful bunt. It's like glowing. Yeah.
The suitcase in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. So
Did you have like so your dad was your coach too?
Yeah.
And so like afterwards he was like, you had to like face your dad. And
Yeah.
Like, was it something he brought up more than?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I could tell he was like fucking disappointed that I threw it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you handle that sort of thing going forward then? Like, do you find yourself disappointing yourself, or do you find yourself stepping up to the plate in your own in your own realm? Like not like in. I understand that you don't have a lot of external things that you have to step to the plate to, but like in your own life, like do you find yourself stepping up to the plate more often than you're not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick. Sick. Yeah. All right. So this, I think that was a good chakra opening.
There was.
And a
There
great
was.
fucking story.
Nice.
I love that story. And so this next one is plain and simple. You can answer it to as much as you're comfortable with. Like we're not trying to make anybody anything. But what have you learned from grief?
I mean, maybe it sounds corny, but like life goes on for sure. That's probably the biggest thing.
Does that, when you say life goes on, does that make you find peace with the grief, or is it a positive or a negative? Like, what emotion is attached to that?
I don't know. I feel like it's neutral. It's almost like you just have to, like, acknowledging that this is a fucking John Mayer reference, I guess. But like the train doesn't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keeps going.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
To stop the fucking what happened or the progression of time. So it's like it takes a long time to be like, all right, I guess I got to keep moving forward. But
so that's freeing for you then, to be able to latch onto the fact that everything just keeps moving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's like I think that could definitely also help you in like moving past embarrassments, right?
Most certainly, especially today. I mean, there can be some more severe situations, but it's like, even if you're like fucking get, somewhat canceled, it's like, fucking, all right, well, there will be another thing tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't. That also doesn't stop. You know what I mean? Like every day, there's a new thing, and most people can't keep track of everything. You know?
Yeah, and if you are comfortable with doing so, I mean, this is of course we're all comedians, so we always try to tread this question a little lightly. But if you are comfortable doing so, is there an experience with grief that you were able to get that out of the most, and that helped you the most?
Well, I mean, like the most severe thing is my dad died when I was like 21, and that took a while.
Yeah.
That's definitely the most severe thing. That's the only major grief in my life.
Yeah, but like Ansley's mom passed away recently, so that's like something.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was March of this year, and so we, I was pretty close to her myself, and so that was for me even personally. I mean, I know so with Ansley, but like that was even for me like the biggest grief that I've had to deal with. And it was it's one of these things that I think I'm kind of settling on, and I think we talk about Ansley and I talk about this, so I know what we are kind of settling on is realizing that it's just going to be with us for the rest of our lives. Like we're not going to stop missing this person,
right?
But I guess that's almost the same thing as like we're just moving forward.
Yeah.
Moving forward with this is who we are now.
Yeah. Which it is a weird, because I feel like it has so many emotions that go with it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like it's a good thing, but it's also like can feel bad at sometimes because you're getting farther away from like there's just a lot attached to it. But like I agree that it's definitely something that you think about a lot.
Yeah, and it gets to a point where it's like, obviously time doesn't heal it, but it's like the more time that happens, the more it's like, I don't know, it becomes less and less of your thought process, maybe, or like
primary focus.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to say like personality, but like what you spend a lot of time thinking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing to not think about it as much, is what I've learned. It's not a bad thing to not think about it all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I feel like that's a very important part of grief that people don't realize, and that you even stumble. I watched you stumble on that when you were like, it doesn't have to be part of your personality, because that's what people do. In order to make sure that they grieve properly, they embed it in their personality so it doesn't go away.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay if it goes away.
Yeah, because it doesn't go away. It's still there, but it's like it's not at the forefront. It's not a negative thing for it not to be on the forefront of you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like every once in a while I'm like, oh man, I didn't even think about my dad yesterday.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh, all right, I thought about him today.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is like, and you know, as a father, like I mean, as weird as this might sound, like every day that you don't think about him, he's like, yes. Do you know what I mean?
No,
it's
what
like,
do you mean?
Because like you want to be able to build your child in a way that they can handle the loss of you. Mm-hmm. You know, and you're a man, so you don't know what the fuck that means. You know?
Yeah.
So you're just like, I just hope he doesn't think about me all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like weird man shit. Like
yeah.
that, you know what I mean? So, but yeah. Thank you for answering that question.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that. That was the heart chakra.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. Little heart opening there.
Yeah. It'd be weird if that one was about my butt.
Yeah. All right, so the next one, what is your the favorite lie that you've told, like little white lie that you've told? Of course, you get extra karmic points if you divulge a current white lie that's like currently in rotation.
I gotta think.
Because you get an opportunity to spend some yarns out there camping, drinking, camping. Not to say that it has to be from that, but
What do you mean with like strangers?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, are there fish stories for camping?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Like, oh, I tied the most beautiful knot.
just seeing how taut this taut hitch was.
Yeah. I swear to God, I just threw the tent out and it went up.
Say it again.
Just a fun white lie that you tell or you've told.
One of our guests used to tell people she was allergic to strawberries.
Yeah.
I think
for
that's
fun.
my favorite so
Yeah,
far.
that's fun.
Yeah.
That was
Just
fun.
for fun.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Shout out Felicia, by the way.
Yeah.
Couple of years ago, I was with a friend from high school, and I've known this guy my whole life, and we were out like at a bar. He had a bunch of friends, a lot of them I didn't know, and I was just mainly hanging out with this dude. And then he introduced me to one of the other guys, and he said, "This is so and so's brother. Do you remember her?" And the way he phrased her name wasn't how I knew her name in high school. Mm-hmm. So I said no. And then when he said it again, it registered, and I still said no. And he knew that I knew, but I just stood my ground for some reason. I have no idea why I did that.
That's an awesome lie. You lied about knowing somebody you knew. Like, I would love if you, like, the second no you said, you, like, puffed out your chest.
I said no.
Oh, my gosh. Man, awesome lie. That's an awesome lie.
I'm glad I thought of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was the last time you thought about that?
That actually pops into my head every once in a while. Every once in a while, I'm like, why the fuck didn't I just say yes? We would have moved right past it. It was a bigger deal that I said no twice.
You, like, ended the story. Like, yeah. Oh, man.
Every time we do this segment, I think about like one time we were in college and it was spring break time and somebody was like, "Hey," I was in a class. They're like, "What are you doing for spring break?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know." And then somebody else was like, "Are you excited for your trip to Spain that you're doing over spring break?" I was just like, "Uh-huh."
Damn. That person called you out.
And they might not have been there. It wasn't like malicious. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
they came back to the room or something. It was like,
Yeah.
it was just like,
Oh, it was more sitcom-y.
yeah. It was
Like they just came into the room after getting there, like out at the water fountain when you were
Yeah.
asked the question. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. It happens that way.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
happens that way.
You had to go out and buy like Spanish trinkets. Like, oh yeah, you see that magnet, by the way?
No, I was going to
Spain?
Spain. But I didn't
she was
like.
about
I
to go
didn't
to
want to
sleep.
talk to. I don't know. I didn't feel like talking to the guy about it. Like,
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
She was like holding her passport.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why you ask? Yeah. But yeah, that's a fun line, man. That just happens, and that's like a. And do you feel a little bit lighter now that you like got that? Like you told somebody about that little lie.
Kind of. I wonder if this guy will ever hear it. And you're like, I fucking knew. Why would you?
Yeah.
Because the look he gave me was just like,
It's funny that it's such a human experience, but both ways you understand when you're doing a ridiculous lie like that, but when somebody does a ridiculous lie like that, you just cannot imagine why they would lie.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's that's a funny thing to me about that.
Yeah. The smallest little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the throat chakra.
Okay.
Expression helps you when you're balanced in the throat chakra. It helps you express yourself clearly, but it also helps you see people expressing themselves more clearly. Like you can pick up the hidden signs to language when you got a clear. I learned about this recently.
I watched your same movie.
Yeah. All right. So those are the body chakras. We just moved up through those. Now we're getting more into the cerebral chakras. This is where enlightenment happens.
Okay. Yeah. The only chakra stuff I ever heard was like a substitute teacher in high school. It was like would do a little like 3-minute shakedown before class, make everybody do a little, like uncross your legs,
That's why you came in here and uncrossed your feet, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I
why
know
I was
how
like,
to do this.
I was like, I've been here, man. I know exactly what they're about to do. Just on camera doing this for an hour.
Yeah, we also, like the two of us together, have real strong substitute teacher vibes.
We're going to make a difference in this kid's life.
We only got a short time, Anthony. We got to go. All right. So this next one, we're getting to the third eye shit, right? So the question here is two things that you thought were separate, but as you see them in life, you're starting to realize they're the same. They're two sides of the same coin, if you will.
Oh no, I might need an example on this to get me going. Two things that I thought were not connected, or
yeah.
I always think about, like, for me, that in life, when you think about how you like want to protect yourself and keep yourself safe from heartbreak and stuff, and like part of that means having people that you love around you, that you can't. That the only way to have people that you love around you is by being vulnerable to people. So you know what I mean? Like you can't have that without the vulnerability and like the safety, and like really it's all like the same. Like
you can't have a hard heart and also be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with your family you can be open.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I guess the two things that are the same there would be having a hard heart and not having love are the same things. Like protecting your heart and not having love are the same things. Yeah. Right. So it's a very chick way to go about that, Ansley. I would have said.
You got a manly thing to say?
I mean, I got a very diagrammy thing to say, right? Like,
okay.
Venn? What variety of diagram?
I don't know. No, it's just like more of I guess binary. It's just more binary.
You're gonna start clicking for us?
Yeah. I guess no, it is Venn diagram. I'm so sorry.
Like no.
Yeah. Like Republicans and Democrats, like extreme Republicans and extreme Democrats are the same people. So like the MAGA insane people, and then like the other, like the AOCs of the world, or whatever. They're like basically two sides of the same coin. Right?
Yes, sure. Yeah. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
But if you want love,
now that now that I said that, do you get her point now that she made?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I understood it before your example as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. But it did take you saying it like a man for me to get it. Just kidding. Yeah, I have the same view on Fox News and CNN people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just fucking wearing a red tie and a blue tie.
Yeah.
They both kind of stink.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can think of anything.
Yeah, they made this fucking pandemic suck. We could have
Speak for yourself. I had a fucking good time.
but that's what I'm saying. We could have all been having a good time. Like I had a good time, right?
But
You had a
didn't
good
like
time.
overpopulate your hiking trails? Like was that a bummer ever?
Oh my God, no.
Right.
Yosemite.
Oh.
I could have parked on a goddamn waterfall. There was so much parking. It
Oh.
was the best experience. I mean, we had to get like permits and stuff in advance and reservations and stuff, which was a little bit more planning and stuff. But it didn't. It actually enhanced everything. I mean, flights were cheap. It was cheaper to get places. Cars were cheaper. Hotels were cheaper. Campsites were emptier.
Yeah, I don't mean to be autistic about this, but parking on a waterfall is something you do when there's no parking. How when there's a lot of parking?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't know why.
I apologize. I was gonna hang on to that for the rest of my life, but I was like, I can't. This podcast is about letting shit go and moving on and growing. All right. So,
Well, yeah, maybe that's the the two sides of one coin is COVID,
yeah.
terrible, but absolutely enhanced my life unimaginably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I see that. So
A world pandemic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which has
Made
been
your
very
life better.
terrible for a lot of people. A lot of businesses had to go out
Yeah.
of business, you know what I mean?
yeah.
A lot of people had to go broke for me to get rich.
Sick. So sick. You're a capitalist now, dude.
No, I'm a socialist. That money was all free.
Yeah, but those people that went broke don't have it.
Some of them might,
That's
if
also
they
fair.
played their cards right.
Yeah.
If you lost a business and you didn't fucking get rich, you fucked up big time. I didn't even have a business and I got rich.
That's probably why you lost your business. Yeah. All right. So this is pretty much our last question, and this is getting up into the crown chakra, the crown jewel of chakras, if you will. One thing that you can't give up and why, and this is a two-part question, and what would giving that thing up even mean to you?
Well, what is it? Weed, comedy, or camping?
That has been two out of three of those have been most of the answers that we got.
Yeah.
For those questions.
Yeah. If I didn't smoke weed but still did comedy, would it even be fun? Yeah, comedy. I mean, I'd just be what the fuck would I do if I didn't do comedy, you know?
I think you'd somehow monetize your passion for camping.
Yeah. I mean, that is a big, like, I would love to live close to, like, Reno, Nevada, near, like, Tahoe, you know what I mean? And that could be my airport to go, like, if I was a headliner. If I ever get to a point where I can fly from whatever city I live in to go headline places, I'll probably go somewhere near there so I can still enjoy hiking and stuff. But if I didn't do comedy, I would try to, like, be a fucking guide or something, a gear review guy or, you know, some kind of monetization of camping.
Yeah. How about this? Let's change the language of that. Instead of saying, if I ever become a headliner, let's say, when I become a headliner, I will live in a city where I can fly out of a small airport.
Yeah.
Right? Now you try it.
When I start headlining...
You are a substitute teacher tonight. You're like posture.
No,
is like,
no, uncross your
you
legs
know.
and say it, John.
Open your butt. When I headline. Shit. If I start getting fucking feature shit. When I start featuring every weekend, I'm going to move. Nah, it would be a long time down the road.
Yeah.
Maybe like 20 years. In my 50s, it would be cool to go somewhere and have more space, you know?
Yeah.
Leave a city, leave the city, and move somewhere with a backyard. somewhere where I can fucking look at big ass mountains every day.
And fucking take your shoes off and walk barefoot.
Oh yeah. Do you do that a lot?
I do. I get right out there and
Yeah, you got your own nice little yard to do it in.
I also, when I take my dog to play fetch, I take my socks and shoes off.
No way. You don't even have a pair of like slides that you can just wear over there, so you don't.
I sometimes crock it.
Dude, taking socks off at the park is weird.
my feet get sweaty in Crocs. I need a sock barrier.
Same. You need some kind of sandal, some kind of strappy sandal that you can just kick
I got a strappy sandal. I wear it for jiu-jitsu, but I don't wear sandals out in public.
Because you don't want that look?
It's for masculine reasons, you know.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
That's a big hump you can get over one day.
I'm working on it. I mean, I didn't have sandals until I started doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I never had them.
Cindy didn't wear sweatpants during the daytime till like 2 years ago.
So sweatpants are fine. You can get a nice pair of sweatpants that look good, but like wearing sweatpants outside and wearing sandals outside are kind of one and the same.
Yeah.
If you had a nice pair of jeans on and sandals, I think that looks good. If you had some nice sweatpants on and sneakers, that looks good. Right?
Every time I'm out in sweatpants, I feel like I should be apologizing to everybody.
Are they like ratty fucking
No, the great sweatpants.
Walmart
but
sweatpants?
I just need people to know. I'm like, I mean no ill will. You know?
He called me. He's like, I'm going to the grocery store in sweatpants.
If you see a helicopter overhead, that's why.
Dude, it's just like, I just need people to know. It's like, I do have my life together. They're comfortable.
Dude, it took me a long time to be willing to walk outside of my house and go to CVS on the corner without having taken a shower that day. Like, and having like good clothes on.
Yeah.
Took me like probably over a year at this new house.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't do it in South Philly because I didn't want to seem like I was a local. You know, you see a lot of sweatpants and flip flops.
Wash the local off you before you left the house.
But now it's like I'm going down there in the pajamas I woke up in if I need something. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. One of these days.
But if I went across the street to the grocery store, I'm getting a shower. CVS only. One baby steps, right?
Well, John, that's it. Do you feel enlightened? How do you feel? How'd you feel that went?
I feel good. I don't know if I was nervous when you said how enlightened and deep it would be.
Yeah.
But it feels good to have gone through it.
Right?
Yeah.
That's typically how people feel, man. It's a good feeling, right? It's wild.
It is.
Yeah.
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 I think we always have like a little bit of fear about getting to know ourselves better, and then like once like it's like that, you know, once you dive in and do it, you're like, oh,
yeah,
well, I'm pretty okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's rare. It's a rare chance to do that. I appreciate the opportunity, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for taking it. Do you have time to stick around for the Patreon, by the way?
Sure.
All right, cool. And so, John, you want to do some? We should have did this earlier. The plugs. Jon Delcollo, you got Lil Stinkers popping.
Yeah, check out Lil Stinkers on wherever you listen to your podcasts on YouTube, and we have a Patreon going if you'd be so inclined.
It's awesome. I'm a little behind, but it's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's true crime based. Every week, my buddy Mike Rainey picks a murderer, typically, of somebody who's done something bad, but has also done some kind of funny shit as well. Sometimes, well, we always flip a coin. Sometimes it might be about an impractical joker. Sometimes maybe.
And you guys know Mike Rainey from the episode of Two Jack Bros that he did. So, yeah, Mike Rainey's episode was a good time too.
Yeah.
Nice. Dude, these episodes, this is fun.
Yeah, and you guys just started having guests, right?
Yeah.
Pretty recently?
Yeah.
Good.
And it's completely changed the impact the podcast has on people.
Good.
Right?
I like this.
Yeah, right. It's like it's easy. It's like therapeutic, but easy at the same time.
Yes.
You know,
It's perfect.
Yeah. And all right. So I mean, you know all of our stuff. Check out what's your Instagram?
Oh, at Johnny Delco, JonnyDelco.
Yeah, and all of that stuff is going to be in the description box down Hello, there's the camera. I'm always talking to the recorder. I talk right at the recorder. So, so we're going to hop into Patreon right now. We're just going to keep things going. And thank you so much, everybody. No shout-outs this week. We're eventually going to do shout-outs during the guest. But it's a lot. We're doing a lot. We got to keep it moving. Thank you so much. We love you, and we hope that you enjoyed Jon Delcollo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got you.